Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle, and today I've got an exciting episode for you. We have the new Do It Weedless Darter jig mold. So we are going to pour a bunch of these. I'm going to try to take some with me this weekend. I'm going to try to do a little bit of fishing maybe. So I'd like to make up a couple of these just to see how they perform, how they work, what the hookup ratio is on these with fish, kind of thing. But in a nutshell, what you're looking at here is you're using a Victory style hook, similar to the Ned, the weedless Neds, except this puts like a worm weight on the top. So I'm pretty excited about this because I like to use a Texas rig a lot, and this is kind of a perfect solution to do that. Now I had some size 1 hooks from before from Lurecraft, and I think I'm gonna use some of those to make some smaller darter jigs. And then I also bought some size 3/0 from Barlow's, and Barlow's has all sizes, by the way. I'm not sure about right now or when this video comes out, but I would assume these are probably gonna go fast. The last time that the Weedless Neds came out, they went really fast. So I don't know if you have picked some up or you need to pick some up, but this mold is definitely a must, especially for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and make up a 1/8 ounce, and I'm gonna make up a 5/16 ounce, which is, well, you know what, I may go with a quarter. I may down that a little bit, but it says in the quarter spot that you're only supposed to use a 2/0 hook. I'm gonna go ahead and try to cram that 3/0 hook in there. I like the 3/0 hook profile, but 1/4 ounce weight is actually a pretty good size weight. I don't wanna go too heavy, but this mold goes up to a 3/8 ounce, and the smallest is 1/8. So pretty good sizes, pretty common sizes for throwing lead weights around. So let's get the lead heated up and let's check this thing out. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you this a little bit closer. So this is the mold. You got your head there. The only difference between this and a Texas rig is that the line usually goes through the end of the lead weight. In this case, you're going to be tying onto the jig head, which is right there. So it's a little bit different, so it's going to act a little bit different. It's going to move a little bit different than what you're used to with a Texas rig. So again, 1/8 ounce, uses a size 1 hook. 3/16 is going to be a size 1/0. 1/4 is going to be a 2/0 hook, and 5/16 is a 3/0 hook, and 3/8 is a 4/0 hook. That seems a little bit big for 3/8, but like I said, we're going to try to do the 1/8. That's a size 1 hook. That's what I have here. And we also have some 3/0s that I ordered. I haven't gotten all the sizes of these hooks yet. So there's a 3/0, and I'm actually going to put the 3/0 into the quarter cavity for the and use that weight. I want that weight with that hook. So let's see if that works on that as well. So we're trying something a little bit different than what it's actually made for. Hopefully it'll work. I've closed it up. I think it looks okay. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but let's get some lead heated up and we'll check this thing out. So we are going to hit this with some lead. It's this first cavity, and I think it's the third from the end. Yeah, the one in the middle. And the other thing we're going to do is we're not going to hit this with any dropout yet. I want to see with this mold cold if it will fill up the cavities correctly. So let's go ahead, fill up the first one and the third one. All right, let's see what this does. Yep, filled them up great. So again, didn't need to use any dropout. These are fairly big cavities. I'm not surprised actually. So with this sprue, it's gonna be a little bit interesting here. I'm just gonna clip one off here just so we can see it. So that is the Weedless Darter jig. Okay. That is a 1/4 ounce with a 3/0 hook. So it does work. No problems there. Puts that lead weight up there. It's basically like a Texas rig, but a little bit different because the hook eye is up here instead of being up here through the line would be through that. So I'm gonna try these this weekend, I think, if not next week, just to see how they go. But that's a nice little jig there. So I'm gonna go ahead and make up a couple of these two sizes. I'm gonna make up a couple of these two sizes. I'm just gonna show you in my hand what they look like. That other one is a 1/8 with a size 1 hook. So pretty slick. This is gonna be great for creature baits, craws, that kind of thing. This I was thinking for like drop shot type worms, or Ned type baits, that kind of stuff. I figured that would be awesome for that. So we're gonna try both of those. But let me make up a couple more off camera. And then what I want to do is I want to paint a couple of them white, pearl white. And then I think we may paint a couple of them black as well, just so we've got a couple different colors, just black and white. That's just standard. I mean, I use those quite a bit and they seem to work pretty well. So let me make up a couple more and we'll come back and do some painting. So I went ahead and made 10 up of each. Let me get you guys drop down just a little bit so you can see what I'm looking at here. There we go. Went ahead and made 10 of each. Clipping these is actually very, very easy. You can come up with a pair of flush cutters. You can come up right behind where it is and just go right, the flat part right flush against the jig head where the actual sprue is, and just cut right there. And it actually makes a nice flush cut right there on the back side of that jig. So it's actually pretty perfect. It's almost close enough to where I don't even need to file anything off. I probably still will anyway. I'm just kind of anal like that. So if you want to, just clean it up just on the back side, just a little bit where you clipped it. And I think that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But let me go ahead and get the rest of these sprues off, clean these up, and we'll do some painting. Okay, so as far as cleanup goes, injection into these things, pouring this lead mold, very, very simple. I didn't have any real mess ups with this mold at all. It filled the cavities correctly every time, and that was from cold. It's hot now, obviously, because I've done 10 of them. But I'm very impressed how easy that was without having to manipulate anything. So I didn't have to, I didn't have to hit this with dropout. I didn't have to do any of that. It seemed like everything actually fell into place pretty well. Again, even the 1/8 ounce is a pretty good size lead head. So it filled in very nicely. So as far as easeability, pouring these things, this is a lot faster than a lot of the other molds that I have. Like if you go back to the original Ned head, before they made the weedless, it was a little bit tough to fill those cavities and to get them perfect and to line up the bait keeper and that kind of thing. It was a little bit more difficult. And I have another mold that we're going to do maybe around the next video or video after. I'm not sure which one it's going to come out, but that one is a little bit more involved in setting it up. But I think once you get it poured, it's fine. But anything with details in it, and I understand that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to pour. Just you got to make sure that everything's right. So it's probably going to have, a little bit of extra, like the the dropout to help it get into the cavity correctly, that kind of thing. But this is very simple, very fast, very effective. So I really, really like that. Some of the molds I have take a little bit more time. Like, I know underspins take time because you got to have all the parts and pieces in the right place, and then you got to, you know, and then you got to go through and fill them, and then afterwards you got to close the eyes and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot more time consuming, especially putting on hardware and all that stuff. So I do love my underspins, don't get me wrong, but this is a simple, effective mold. I think it's gonna do very well as far as catching a lot of fish and that kind of thing. But you can make them small, you know, that's a size 1, and you can make them big. That's a size 3/0, and you can actually go up to a 4/0, I believe, on the biggest one. So as far as sizes go and everything for bass and that kind of thing, this is pretty good. This is pretty perfect. So kudos to Do It for making this mold. This is a pretty decent mold. So I've got 10 of each size. We're smoking a little bit here. Try and get that to stop. We got 10 of each size. I think I'm going to do 5 of each white, pearl white, and black. So let's split these up real quick. Let's go ahead, paint them up, get them baked. A couple seconds on each side. All you need to do is have the jig hot. And go ahead and dip it in the paint. That's it. So for this case, you can cover the eyelets if you want to. I don't mind having paint on them. I may have to clean it off. I may have to dip this again. It's pretty light coating. So I'm just going to hit it one more time. And I'm just going to clean out that hook eye with a poker here. That's a very small hook eye. And I'm just gonna take off that excess heat, just return it to the heat, just to get that thing smoothed out a little bit. So there you have it. Pearl white jig head, Weedless Darter. So I'm going to go ahead and make up the rest of these real quick. Probably do a little bit of a speed video here. Now onto the black. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use just powder paint in the cup. I'm not going to use the fluid beds for this one. And I've got an issue with my pearl white. I don't know, maybe you guys can help me out with this or not. I feel like the powder sometimes it only sticks to certain spots. So I don't know if it's something wrong with the paint. I never had that problem when I just had the powder paint in a tub, but ever since I went to the fluid bed, it sticks really weird, and that seems to be the only color that does that. So I'm not sure what my problem is here, but I'm just going to hand dip the blacks. I think it's going to be better anyway. of which it is. Not even cleaning out the eye holes or nothing. Came out perfect. So, got some issues with white. I may start over. I may just dump all the pearl white powder that I have. I think I've got some pearl white powder in a bag that I got from somebody. I can't remember. I don't know if it's a refill from Lure Parts Online, or I can't remember who I got it from, but I just feel like, I don't know if I mixed the two and got them messed up or what. I don't know. I got to start over. I'm gonna have to get some more pearl white probably. I think I've got a can of it up here. I've got the original can that I used to use all the time. That seems to work really well. So might just go back to that. Just buy some more of that and go back to it. But just a little quick swirl in the black seems to do it really well. Seems to do it justice. Don't really need to clean out the eye holes, but this one might have a little bit of excess in it. I guess not. Take a little bit of paint off there just in case. I think the other thing to note too is that when you're baking these ones are a little bit different than any other jig mold and stuff, where the paint isn't going to run down into the hook eye. It's just going to run down to the tip of the head. So if I've got too much paint on them, they're going to run right to the tip. So hopefully we won't have that issue. Hopefully it's not going to be a problem at all. I may have gotten a little bit too much on that one, which I'm probably going to have to stir up this powder again just to get some more air into it. Actually, that turned out really well. So that's the only thing about working out of a plastic jar like this with the powder paint is you just got to shake it once in a while. Put the cap back on it, shake it, get it fluffed up. I'd say like every 2 to 3 jig heads, depending on the size. The little ones I could probably get away with a little bit more. I'd be doing like 4 at a time. But in this case, I'm going to do 2 at a time, 3 at a time. I did 3 on that one. But the idea is just to have that powder nice and fluffy. So I'll occasionally go back to the old school ways of not using fluid beds. And again, these are going to get baked in the toaster oven, so I'm not too worried about things here. And I've got a couple extra jigs that I'm trying to make for somebody else, so I'm just throwing them on there. A couple of those little bat jigs. Those are pretty cool. So let me quick make up the rest of these, and then we'll get things baking and come back after they're done, and hopefully we will have a bunch of these made up, and I can show you guys how they came out. Show you if some of the paint, too much paint got into the hook eye, and see how they did, see if they ran. I think I may have one in there that might have a little bit excessive paint on it. Let's see what it does. I'm kind of curious if it runs down into that point, which I'm pretty sure it will. It's like a little cone head. So let me finish these up. I'll be right back. All right, so here we go, guys. Got my jigs made. I got a couple extras in there for a buddy of mine, but we're gonna try this. See here, we got a toaster oven. Turn it on. 350 for 20 minutes. And like I said, I've got one of them there. Might have a little bit extra paint, so I'm kind of curious to see how these darters turn out with if they do have a drip on them. So let's see how they turn out. So after 20 minutes of baking, none of them had any kind of bubbled paint down towards the head. So that worked out pretty well. The black came out the best, I think. This is the small one, the 1/8 ounce with the size 1 hook. So that came out really good. And the 3/0, which is the, what is that, 1/4 ounce? Yeah, I did a 1/4 ounce with a 3/0 hook, and that came out fantastic as well. So again, can't wait to throw these. I think these are going to really kill. I'm going to try some out maybe this weekend. Hopefully I can let you guys know how it turns out. And I'm not sure when this video is coming out, so I say this weekend, but it's probably going to be before that. So hopefully when this comes out, I can get some, maybe some, I don't know if I'll get some footage, but I'll at least get some type of action shot or something between now and when this video comes out, and show you guys how they actually came out and how they actually work. But I think it's going to be very similar to a Texas rig, except you got the eye up there, so it's going to pull it a different way, different direction. But I think it'll be a little bit nicer than a Texas rig, where a Texas rig will drag. You can drag it. This you could drag if you wanted to slowly, but I think the idea here is that it'll like pop. You can pop it up, pop it, pop it, pop it. So that'd be pretty cool. So pretty awesome. I like the mold. The mold works well. The jigs paint easy. They're easy to bake in the oven. I didn't get any runs. I did use a fluid bed for the white, but I did a out of the jar just hand dip with the black, and they seem to come out good too. So either way you decide to do it, I know a lot of people don't like to use fluid beds, but they came out fantastic. What a great mold. This is definitely one you want. I don't know if you guys like to collect them or you like to, you know, use them for certain purposes. I have to confess that I do like collecting these molds, but at the same time, there's some that are really functional and some that are really not. And this is definitely, I think, going to be a functional mold. I'm very, very impressed by this mold so far. So I will keep you guys posted as time goes on, let you know how things turn out, how the jig works well, that kind of thing. But that is it. That is the Weedless Darter jig. Alright guys, well that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed that. We did a bunch of the Weedless Darter jigs, and I'm telling you, this is definitely going to be used a lot more. Quick and easy to make, the even pouring the lead, quick and easy to be dipping them, putting them in the toaster oven to bake them. I mean, everything so far, every aspect of how the process is on these particular jigs, very simple, very easy, and I have a funny feeling they're going to be very effective. One thing I did want to mention too is that I got this mold from Barlow's Tackle. I'm part of the affiliate program now. If you guys use B8N Tackle, all one word, it helps support the channel tremendously. Whatever you guys buy, it doesn't give you a discount, but it does help support me buying more molds like this to show you guys in these videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, as always, keep on baiting.